Hey, what's up, everybody? So today, January 28th, our great economy is overshadowing the coronavirus. Much different than yesterday. Yesterday, on January 27th, the stock market took the biggest dump since October. Not because of bad economic data, not because of GDP, not because of unemployment news, not because of bad job news. It was because of the coronavirus in China. Um, and that's what markets tend to do. Markets tend to overreact one way or another. I always say the stock market is the most fickle market that there is. Tends to overreact the most is the stock market. Um, but let's take a look at this article. This article is from CNBC, and it says the Dow jumps 200 points, rebounding from its worst day since October. So let's take a look and see what CNBC has to say. It says stocks rose on Tuesday following the market's biggest sell-off in more than 3 months as investors grapple with lingering fears over a possible coronavirus outbreak. The Dow Jones Industrial Average jumped 217 points or 0.8%. The S&P 500 climbed 1%, while the Nasdaq Composite advanced 1.3%. Now, what is moving these stocks? Well, good earnings, right? So Apple and Goldman Sachs led the Dow's gains, raising more than 1% each. The S&P 500 was was led higher by the tech and financial sectors, both of which surged more than 1%. The Dow and S&P 500 had their biggest drop since October on Monday. The Dow plunged more than 450 points while the S&P 500 logged in its first pullback of at least 1% in 74 sessions. Now, if I stop there for a second, I find that kind of amazing that usually when we have that much of a pullback, it's because of, possible um, war, maybe bad economic news, maybe unemployment is rising, maybe jobs numbers were horrible, maybe GDP is bad, but it was a virus that caused all of this madness to happen. Now, like I said, I understand to a certain degree, um, but markets need to calm down just a tad, in my opinion, and not overreact to um, what's mainly going on over there in China. Or maybe we should stop doing as much business in China, and then we won't have to worry about it. Because I think that's the main problem. Is even though the virus is mainly in China, but it's the amount of business, it's the amount that our companies, our American companies do over there in China. So bring it back here. That will solve all those problems. So it says that the Nasdaq also had its biggest one-day decline since August, um, because of fears of spreading coronavirus could hurt the global economy. And that's the key. That's the key, right? The global economy, because most of our companies get their products made, whether it be clothing, shoes, um, computer parts, computers, technology. A lot of our stuff comes from China. So I get that. I really do. But bring it back, and then we won't have to worry about because China is a disgusting communist country, and I'm not trying to get political, but their food, everything over there is just horrible. I would not, if anything was made in China that goes into my body, it's not going into my mouth. Bottom line, um, horrible. So anyway, It says the wall of worries is back under construction with concerns over the coronavirus and a pace of global growth. So let's take a look and see what else this is saying. If we go down a little bit further, it says in China, where the virus originated from, the virus has killed more than 100 people, while over 4,500 have been infected. Senior staff at the White House are considering travel restrictions on China. Well, that's a no-brainer. If whoever in China, people who are currently in China, rather you be over there from America, or you want to travel from China, if you live in China, you want to travel here, that has to stop. Um, Nobody should be allowed, in my opinion, to be able to hop on a plane to come here and spread that virus here. So there should be, without a doubt, in my opinion, a travel ban until these confirmed cases are gone, until that virus is confirmed to no longer be in existence or has cleared up. Then there should be a travel ban, in my opinion, on um, people coming out of China to the U.S. or anywhere else for that matter. That virus needs to stay there. And then it says, concerned about the Chinese citizens traveling to the U.S., the fast spreading virus, CNBC reported, citing sources. The State Department has advised Americans to reconsider travel to China due to the novel coronavirus. So, yes, I think that decision should be decided for the people who are deciding to go, and flights should be canceled. Flights to China should be canceled. I think the federal government needs to step in and say no outgoing or incoming flights surrounding China. No doubt. What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comment section. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention also said travelers should avoid all non-essential travel to China. I think essential. What is essential enough to travel to China, and to risk getting this virus? I don't think there's anything. If it's business, business can wait. If it's personal, that can wait until all of this madness is over. It says President Donald Trump said the U.S. is very close in communication as it relates to the virus. Now, I believe I just seen, and this may have been after this article was published, that China has refused any help from the U.S. So I say any flights, just don't go over there. If anybody has plans on going to China, um, just don't go. I think it's a very simple answer, in my opinion. It says investors worry the current situation in China is similar to the severe respiratory syndrome, or SARS. Now, SARS, the outbreak of SARS, there was a lot of fears with that also. But I believe SARS, there was very little cases in the U.S. Um, I think the markets reacted similar back in 2003, due to the SARS problem. And I don't think SARS, as a whole, I don't think SARS ever became of much here in the U.S. It says stocks also fell back then the outbreak uncertainty before recovering. So, stock markets are recovering. The economic data still coming out as positive, and I think the markets should calm down, relax, wait to see if there's any, other cases, confirmed cases in the U.S., or if everything remains in China. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Appreciate everybody for listening, and definitely let me know your comments. And please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to everybody on my next video. Thanks a lot, everyone.